I'm sure you would be expecting that after the State of Economy address by the Finance Minister, will be looking at reactions from economists and some analysts. Well, that is what we have for you this afternoon on Business for Midday Live. Let's do business now. I'm Nanikia Mensah Brampa, and looking at the post reactions after the State of Economy address. The board chairman and former economic advisor to government, Ishmael Yamson, says government must particularly pay attention to the IMF program in 2016 to stay prudent. He says government does not have an excuse in the coming year to overspend, and he was reacting to yesterday's State of Economy address by the Finance Minister, Seth Tegbe.
In a sentence, what piece of advice would you give to the Finance Minister currently, after all the program that the IMF has put in place? One courageous step that government through the Ministry of Finance should take that will set the tone for better days ahead.
First of all, the Finance Minister has and I think he's very passionate about his homegrown program. I have read it, and I think it's even more demanding than the fund program. The advice I will give him is that he should stick to that program. I will also say to him that he should be aware that between now and December, when we go to vote, the political pressure on him to do things that are contrary to the program will be enormous. But he should remember that in 2004, in an election year, we produced one of the best performance in our history in an election year. So there's history already, there's something there already that we have done before. He should have the same courage of the Finance Minister at the time and stick to it and not breach any of the conditions that the funders create. Because if we go against that, we lose our credibility.
Well, so aside the setbacks and challenges that were realized by the Finance Minister, he also further touched on the debt management strategy as well as the IMF and matters arising. Well, a former economist with the IMF for 20 years has advised the Finance Minister not to brandish growth figures around, but stick to the IMF program and take steps to restoring the economy. Dr. Emmanuel Kuma, who spoke to my colleague Odilio Fori, says it's too early in the day to project such figures when growth for 2015 stands at 3.5%.
The Finance Minister just today has projected some level of growth after growth figures were actually reduced from over 4% to now 3.5%. He's actually projecting that we will recover so quickly in the next 3 years that in the fourth year we should be looking at growth hitting some 8 to 9%. I'm not too sure how this ties in when we currently stand at only a meager 3.5%.
What I would say is that it's important that we restore financial stability in steps. So if we're able to restore financial stability this year, then based on that, we can then begin to see what would be the outline of a growth that is predicated on what? On stable inflation, stable exchange rates, stable conduct of economic actors, stable utility prices, stable prices for petroleum. You see, we have all these things that are going wrong. We need to be able to stabilize and get Ghanaians' confidence. Then I'll be able to say, based on that, I think that my assumptions are going to pan out. I would not, as an economist, begin to project too far out at this stage. I think we need to take baby steps. We need to begin to crawl. We need to give confidence. and then we'll be able to base projections that are solidly founded.
And remember, you can get the full reports of these sound bites in our subsequent bulletins, but that'll do for the business segment this afternoon. You can log on to tv3network.com for more.